Greetings, Holy One. I have felt compelled to create this information dissemination broadcast in light of a few comments that I've recently been engaged with, interacting with a person. They have expressed that they are a certain age, and according to the timeline they provided of their life, that they have been depressed for most of their life. Now, the ancient ones are coming. This is a time of extreme polarity, of choosing, of making a choice. And ultimately, it is between fear and love. But I want to say this as an exercise in triage, as a heartfelt reaching out to whomever is struggling. I can offer you one ironclad, solid practice that can begin to immediately change your life, change the energy. And that is sun gazing. Forget everything that you've been told about the sun and your eyes and danger. Now, I will say, start off slow and choose your timing, preferably the morning hours, sunset hour, sunrise, sunset, the golden hours, as they're called. Now, I want to also make mention of this book, and I want to read a little bit about this book, and hopefully this will begin to open the doors for some people as far as their path. If you're on a path of intellectualization and you like to study, but anyway, this book is The Secret Keys of Knowledge for the Holy Spirit. The title is Thy Sun, Thy Rod, and Thy Staff. And essentially this book, the author, whose name is Michael Ervena, had an epiphany, he says. And in the very beginning, ancients were the closest to originality and truth. They had achieved what modern man has not, and that is the secret to activating the full potential of the human body. And popular culture refers to these humans as sun gods, but they were just humans who followed an ancient science. The ancients left mankind artifacts illustrating the sun, the pineal gland, and tree of life and DNA. The ancients did this to preserve the most important process on the earth, which leads to spiritual activation. Jesus and his disciples were the last to demonstrate the power of spirit through the human body. And he goes on to say, this is just from the back part of the book. We are living in a time where modern science is confirming ancient science. I'm going to tell you, and so this is this book. I wholly encourage you to look that up. And I'm going to tell you, dear viewer, when my life changed, and I was practically, I was at the very gates of hell, to be poetic, put it in a poetic sort of way. But that was my time of choice in 2021. And in September of the 24th of 2021, I had a God-forced release. It's the most powerful, most extreme, most intense experience of energy and just power. But that power was a cleansing power, and there was a mental aftermath of going through, and it was a process that involved me at one point on my knees, crying to God, praying, making my oaths that my life would change. But all of this power came through me, and it was very intense. It was life-changing. It took a path of life that I had been living previously for 6 years, a very dangerous path to hell, and it changed me overnight. And one of the things, as an aftermath, that came to me intuitively, and this is because what happens is you clear out all your energy centers, and all of these lower three chakras are cleansed out. They're connected through the heart chakra up into the higher divine chakras that connect you with your higher self, your Atman, which is source, which is God, and then you have this knowledge that is part of your walk. And so one of the bits of knowledge that I was led to was sun gazing, and I began to do it without knowing anything about it initially, but just the euphoria, the cleansing, it kept that power coursing through me. And of course, in the years since, I've looked into it, I've studied it, and I know it to be a fact. And if you're in a dangerous spot right now, if you can do one thing, because this does require effort, okay? It does require your intent, or requires your commitment, and a daily commitment that you can prove to yourself that you matter that much, that you love yourself that much, that you're going to set aside a period of time each day or however to look into the sun and begin to have this cleansing energy. It will begin to set things in motion for you, and your life will change. And however, whatever you do with that is up to you, because it is your life. I'm not advocating for any, not saying, oh, you need to become a Jesus worshiper and all that. No. But if you want change, look to the sun, because it is the concrete, it is the definite presence of the divine in our reality. And so with that being said, we are in a very tumultuous time, and it's only going to increase. The archonic forces of evil are separating the wheat from the chaff. Those who want to choose violence, who want to live in the red current, because this is very simple. And the red current represents, your lower three animal nature chakras, the root, the sacral, the solar plexus. And those people that are only caught up in those energies are beholden to the red current. Satan, whatever you want to call it, the adversary. Those people are all going to be led to the people that are expressing joy over violence and all this and looking forward to war. You're going to get it. It's here. That is the third dimension, hell realm. That is the Duat, the underworld of pure matter that is not connected to the higher realms, to the higher dimensions. I do not choose that path. Once the God force was released, the Kundalini Holy Spirit was released, it cleansed me and connected me all through up to the higher dimensions with the Alpha. And it was basically heaven manifesting through me in this realm with these higher chakras being activated and connected, the heart, the third eye, the crown. And so, but not that this red current is necessary for survival. Yes, that's great, but it is not the be all end all for your total survival unless you choose that to be so. But so ascension, expansion of consciousness, what have you, can be understood as what current you're going to go with. And ultimately, it is a blending of the two currents. That is what manifesting heaven upon earth means. You're the fusion of matter and spirit, the Christed consciousness incarnate. But of course, to survive, you need to be anchored. You need to feel alive, empowered, but not that is your total extent of your consciousness, the quality of your consciousness, the capacity, the contents of your consciousness are not solely informed by material pursuits, unless that's what you choose to be, or and there's people that's all they know, and that's all they care about, and they want an orgy of blood and all that. You'll have that. That is where we're at. There's also those who choose another path and who will weather this storm through their arc of consciousness. They will come out, and they will be part of this golden age. I'm convinced. That is my path, and that's why I share this information. And as best as I'm able to. I'm not personally trying on some kind of be a popular YouTube channel. No, I have a spiritual walk. I have things going on in my life. I deal as a lion. I walk through this realm, expanding consciousness, raising frequency, vibration, displaying happiness, taking the high road of peace. And that is this walk through this Duat. And I offer this activation protocol. So along with your sun gazing, there is grounding and alignment. Each day you find a quiet space, natural light if possible. If the sun can radiate and bathe you, do it. Create your sacred altar, symbolic object for focus. And your posture, feet firmly on the ground, spine aligned, shoulders relaxed, and chest open. Yes, breathe, expand, stretch. Take care of your holy temple, the vessel. Slow, deep, asymmetric breathing, 2-to-1 breathing. The breath, the out breath, longer than the in breath, will activate your God mind or the vagus nerve system. Declare, I walk as a lion through this hell realm. I am indestructible in spirit, fearless in truth, and aligned with the Christ Indigo Ray. That is what's happened when you blend these two currents. It becomes the red, matter, blue, heaven, blending becomes purple, indigo. That is the energy that you embody, the Christic Indigo Ray. And so you have your focus area when you activate your grounding in matter. You want to, yes, you know, this is not means that you do not protect yourself but you stay out of the funk, you stay out of the chaos, and you will make it through this. But activate your root, your sacral, solar plexus. Combine all this into the beta brainwave. Alert, active awareness, visualization. Imagine red energy rising from the earth into your lower chakras, your quantum nodes, fortifying your survival, courage in action. Yes, the end times doesn't need, you can't be a wimp, but this does not mean engage in 3D battles, but walk as a lion. I'm telling you, affirmation. I am anchored, I am alive, I am empowered in every step through 3D matter. Lion walk. Feel your legs as pillars of vitality, moving deliberately, each step resonating red life force through the Duat, through this lower realm. Blue current activation, insight and vision, focus area, your throat, third eye, and your heart. The heart is the bridge that leads to these higher energies, to the brainwave alpha theta, intuitive reflective awareness. Imagine blue energy descending from the heavens into your upper chakras, clearing perception, dissolving illusions, opening insight. Affirm, I see truth beyond the veil. My mind discerns. My heart perceives, my voice expresses divine guidance. Your head and your gaze are sharp in this lion walk, piercing through the shadows, seeing the Duat illusions without fear. And those illusions are generally trying to get your energy tied up in some kind of drama. Use your third eye and avoid this. Be a master of energy. Be a master of the Christic fusion, which is indigo ray integration. Focus area is your heart. It begins through the heart. Hold your animals, your puppies, whatever it is that you love. Third eye, crown, to be activated in the gamma brainwave. Coherent, unified consciousness. And visualize red and blue currents spiraling together in your heart and third eye, merging into indigo light that radiates outward. And affirm, I am the fusion of matter and spirit. I am Christed consciousness, incarnate. Heaven manifests through me in this realm. And this lion walk, the action, move with purpose and sovereignty. Feeling every cell vibrate with indigo power, transmuting the density beneath your feet. Yes, call it beast mode. I laugh at these people, and I don't back down, and they know they don't impact me, but they come at me every day, in one fashion or another. But it's not, and I don't respond like this. I'll tell you, mostly it's just silence and a little smirk, but it's Tai Chi time. And they know. They don't touch this. You don't touch this. Okay? You walk with purpose. I walk with purpose, power, silence, and the roar of sovereignty. And I exhale any drama, and I let out a resonant roar. Yes. This is not merely sound, but vibration that clears surrounding energy fields. The power of this brush, the indigo ray, spreads from your body into the environment, dissolving duality, fear, and limitation. Affirm, I am a lion. I walk fearlessly. I transmute darkness into light. I am heaven on earth. Ground this power. This is stability. Kneel or sit. Feel the energy settling into the earth through your feet. Integration. Allow the indigo ray to remain active in your aura, integrating red and blue currents for lasting cosmic alignment. And the silent acknowledgement, offer gratitude to the ancient ones, the Christic presence, and the Aumbonda field. Visualize yourself descending into the densest zones of the Duat. And I'm using Egyptian terminology, but this is the Duat. This realm, this physical realm that we're at of matter is the highest level of hell and the lowest of heaven. But it is the liminal zone, the boundary zone, where the two meet and you make your choice. Who you're going to follow, which master will you serve. Stepping through layers of fear and illusion, then spiraling upward as indigo Christed light, transmuting the hell realm from inside out. Each cycle deepens integration and strengthens lion frequency authority. So this has been an effort to offer some kind of encouragement in whatever way that I'm able to anyone going through any troubles. But the outside world, it's just, man, it's, you know, it's, they got their plan, folks. You can follow along with the red current, or you can begin to look for the blue current in whatever form it takes in your life, and then begin to blend these currents, these energy vectors, and begin to blend them into the purple indigo ray of sovereignty and Christed power of heaven upon earth. Namaste, namaskaram.